So our group is called Social Compass, and the problem that we've decided to address is the problem of verifying visual content that comes from social media. So what's the opportunity here? Well, there are over 1 billion smartphones available worldwide, and that number is only going up. And increasingly, professional journalists are relying on citizen journalists and citizen witnesses, especially in conflict scenarios. And over time, as I mentioned earlier, the chances that the closest person to a newsworthy incident is going to be a professional journalist are very small. And so this is an incredible opportunity that's developing. But the challenge is, how do you verify this stuff? When you look at numbers like there's over 500,000 videos coming out each year from Syria, how do you verify this and know, that you're using legitimate content? So basically, the process that people want to use, they want to identify where is this content coming from, want to make sure that we know where and when the content is from, and then look at the context and make sure that we're understanding the whole picture here. So broadly, our approach to this question was we wanted to create a guide that would step journalists through the process of verifying this, and then we'll show you an example of how we did this in our group, and then we're going to show you a tool that we've created to help make this job a little bit easier. So we're going to run through this real quickly. So the type of process you would go through to verify something, so you want to try and find like a profile of the source, get more information about who created this content, try and find contact information for them so you can talk to them. So you can do tricks like search for the part of the URL of the YouTube video to see where else that video has popped up on social media. You can plug that into Google. You can send them a message, but you want to keep in mind the ethics. So we're going to go through and make a more comprehensive document, hopefully with some of your help, that will step you through that. So next one. So we decided in our group to go ahead and do a quick example. So there were demonstrations about an assassination in Tunisia the past couple days, and so we took a look at a video from there. And this video, my French is excellent, but this says protests after the assassination of Mohamed Brahmi on the street. So if we can just watch a real quick clip of this video, hopefully if you click on it.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Excellent. All right, well. So that's how we had planned it. All right. There we go. So you get an idea, so it's clearly a protest, there's all these red flags around. If you take a close look, you can see that there seems to be sort of this big long row of trees, so you sort of get a sense of what's going on. So, okay, well there's no particular reason to think that's faked, but we wanted to figure out how could we, get some hints on where this was coming from. So, if you could go to the next slide real quick. First step, like we talked about, was trying to find the source. So we looked at the YouTube page, and we weren't getting a whole lot of information. This guy's only uploaded one video ever, which was this video yesterday, and he didn't list any contact information. So we searched his name. All right, well, so we find a Twitter account. He's got a Huffington Post blog. But we checked his Twitter account. He hasn't tweeted since 2011. But we did also find this Facebook page, which is a little bit out of date also, but we see that they've got the same photo as their profile photo. And this guy, it says his location is Paris. So we're starting to build a little bit of a picture. And so I just sent him a message, and I said, I used Google Translate, and I just said, hey, I sent you a Facebook message, can you take a look in your other folder? And I didn't give more detail because we wanted to make sure, just in case, we didn't want to get him in trouble and say like, hey, great video of that illegal protest, I'd love to know more. So he replied, no problem, I'm happy to give you more information. I'm not the one who, made this video myself, but I can put you in touch with the people who did. So we talked to him, and he ended up giving us the phone number and an email address for the person who took the video. And this whole process took about an hour. We also did some cross-referencing. So there's a video from a group called Tunisia Live that is sort of familiar. The Storyful people have seen stuff that they've done before, and you can see it's a similar, you've got those flags, you've got a similar type of crowd, the same weather, all these sorts of things. Some other cues you can look at within a video, things like the weather, what kind of accents are people using, what are the street signs, what do the trees look like. And so one thing Samantha says is if you're talking on the phone with your source, you can just ask them simple questions like, oh, so you're right in the middle of London, great. Where are you? What can you see? And she says often people will just go, stuff. If they're not actually in the location. What's the weather like there? Can you see landmarks? Things like that. So this is the kind of process, and as you can see, this is a very effective process. But it's, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of manual typing and searching, and it's very resource intensive. So what we wanted to do is take the first steps in creating a blueprint towards creating some technology tools that will make this easier for journalists. So Seamus is going to talk a little bit about what he built all this morning.
Get on here, sorry.